he knew who we were as an organization. We were saying that there's a lot of community-driven places that people stay in Israel. A kibbutz is one of them. Zera is such a kibbutz. So you can see the community spirit. You can see people coming together during these times. So that's good.
Nice.
And this was one of the first kibbutz, or?
This is one of the first kibbutz regions. Now, so yes, it was the first kibbutz, but this area was split up into 3 parts now, or 4 parts: Degania Bet, Degania Aleph, Beit Zera, and Afikim. But at one stage it was all one big kibbutz farmland area, obviously. So I think that's what they mean when they say it's the first kibbutz, because it's the first Kibbutzim, this area. So this has actually been established here for like over 100 years now as well. So before the re-establishment of the state of Israel, this land was this kibbutz, Degania Bet, you know. So people often forget that there's been a Jewish connection to this land for what, over 4,000 years, you know, since biblical. Well, the Jews never left. There was a time where they were a minority, which was a tragedy, but that was a small space in history as well. I always like to remind people that if you go near Kiryat Tivon, which is Haifa, 15 minutes out of Haifa, there's a Jewish community, and they had burial sites of Jews being buried there since the Babylonian exile. You know, that's when Iraq actually exiled a lot of, so that was even before the time of Jesus, Yeshua. So that's, you know, really, and they have beautiful menorahs that were engraved in the stones. They even had some of the, obviously because the Star of David came from Babylon. It's not actually Jewish, but now it is, whatever. Yeah. So it's a possibility, but it's from Iraq, that symbol. So the menorah and the pomegranate is something. So we actually went into Hezekiah's tomb, which is in Shechem. Me and Chaim snuck in, and when we were in there, we saw pomegranates, and there was a menorah symbol, and you can even see someone try to remove it. So we got that on footage. So when you go to a lot of the ancient sites, although mind you, when you go to Capernaum in the time of Jesus, and I remember this was after the Babylonian exile. So am I correct with my fact there? Because there was another exile, the Roman exile was later after Jesus.
Yeah, it was later. Yeah, it was built on top of the older remnants. And
exactly.
There was the black stone, the local stone.
And then they also had the Star of David, which is the Star of Raphael. And they also have the five star, which is the pentagram, technically. But all of that came from Babylon later. Same as Rosh Hashanah, you know. The Bible talks about Nisan, this month, being the first of years. Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is really the New Year as God, because remember, he was always connecting it to the land, because this is spring. So Israel and the Jewish calendar, the Jewish tradition is very connected to the land. One could even say that the Torah is similar, that the Old/New Testament was for people in the wilderness. Anyway, religion and politics, not a pastor or anyone with any knowledge of this. So everything with a pinch of salt. Into the kibbutz security-wise, well, every kibbutz now has security personnel. Let's talk about Shiloh, for example, which is at the forefront. It's what many people say would be the West Bank, but it's Judea and Samaria. Shiloh is where the Ark of the Covenant stood for 369 years. You know, Judea and Samaria is where 85% of the Bible actually happened. But if you go to the kibbutz there, the guy's got like a Tommy machine gun. His vest's probably got like 9 clips, you know, like he is ready for a battalion. And there's a group of them, and then if you go a little bit further, there's another checkpoint. So Israel is filled with checkpoints in the sense of we're looking to protect, aim and guard. You know, a lot of the Palestinians have their own number plate in the regions that they've chosen to segregate and separate. So Israel is not a racist state in the fact that there's Arabs here, there's Jews here, there's Bedouins. Everyone is together collectively working for economic development, you know, their personal beliefs or whatever. But Israel's a very diverse state. It's not just Jews here, and then even the Jews that are here are so different. You know, the ones with the black hats are different to the ones with the little yarmulkes, are different to the ones with just a hat like mine. You know, so everyone is different.
for me to integrate to live here?
If you want to do Aliyah and to live here,
Uh-huh.
so I think each kibbutz has a registry process where if you do want to live here or if you want to rent here, you have to talk to someone. And then if you do get a chance to stay, if you had to find a place that's available for one, then depending on how long you stay or want to stay, they'll have a board committee where everyone will ask you questions about who you are. So I mean, even the fact that this Aliyah Return Center got a place here is also kind of a testament just to, I guess, how long we've been doing it, and people are starting to recognize the work, because you don't have the power to change my mind. You don't have the power to influence my thoughts. Only I do, and believe.
Amen.
And so I think people are realizing that as individuals, that individuals have the ability to align themselves with their friends, no matter their friends' belief. And I think as Christians or as believers, people that want to come to Israel to support it should grasp that opportunity, because according to their belief, they are part of that promise. That they have an inheritance in this land as well. And I think by Jewish people or Israelis, because really at the core of the issue it's Israel, by Israelis accepting that fact that people want to come and help, and by allowing it, they have autonomy of their own thoughts, So I think by being reasonable human beings and being friends with your friends is a very wise move.
Okay. Perfect.